a beautiful day with distinguished audience. So good afternoon, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and what a great honor to be your MC for today.
Welcome to the Harvard Kennedy School Alumni Networks of United Arab Emirates, second annual Policies for the Future Dialogue. On this very special occasion, on behalf of our entire alumni community, we would like to express our gratitude to His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum for his kind and generous support and patronage. Our alumni community comprises of UAE nationals and foreign nationals coming from all corners of the world, in fact, representing all 6 continents. As the alumni of one of the world's top public policy and public administration school, we are here as a force for good in this wonderful country. The number of our alumni in UAE is growing every year, and we are thrilled to particularly see the number of Emirati graduates growing from Harvard Kennedy School. And this is in particular in light of Emirates Leadership Initiative established at the Harvard Kennedy School in 2014 by the United Arab Emirates government. This evening's theme is the New Silk Road. However, it is as much as about the future as it is actually about very distant past. It is about building the future that is inspired not only by our own dreams, but by the dreams of our ancestors for millennia. Our distinguished speakers will take us to the future on the New Silk Road, as well as take us back several millennia on the ancient Silk Road that included this part of the world also. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, we wish you a fantastic journey this evening with our remarkable speakers through the old and the new Silk Road. We hope to bring our own contribution to the policy dialogue on such a fascinating topic that is of global importance.
In my view, the New Silk Road is really a new beginning for much of the world's economy. There's been a big tectonic shift in the world economy as we have known it over the past 20-25 years. And the world has shifted towards emerging markets, and it has shifted towards Asia and China in particular. So when we think of what the world is going to look like in the future, to me as an economist, and we can talk a little bit about the politics maybe later, because there are implications for geopolitics, the world has radically changed. China-Arab policy. What does it say? It says that China is going to engage with our part of the world, with the Arab world, in 3 major areas, and it's called 1, 2, 3. Number 1 is energy. Number 2 are the 2 wings of the bird. It is on infrastructure construction, trade and investment facilitation. Third is new areas to engage with our part of the world. And the 3 specific ones are space, nuclear energy, and new energy. So what is this Belt and Road Initiative? To begin with, and to understand it, it covers 65% of the world's population in its scope, 40% of the world's GDP, 25% of the world's trade. It covers 62 countries. What it promises to do, of course, is it's going to change economic geography. What does this all mean for us? The first one is to say we need to be integrated into the Belt and Road Initiative. Although infrastructure and logistics, ports, airports, railroads, and the rest are going to be very important, it is not the future as far as I'm concerned. What we need is a slightly different New Silk Road. And I'm going to mention 5 things. The first one is that we need a digital Silk Road, not just the old Silk Road. Second major area is clean energy. Third major area is life sciences. This is going to be a revolution. Fourth area, space. China has it in the Arab policy, but I think we need to go further. I'm an advocate, and I've said it publicly, that the UAE not only should send a probe to Mars, they should establish a space center in the UAE. Because the future is not just about road, rail, and aircraft. It is about space and satellites. Fifth area is banking and finance. What that means is that we need to link up our banking and financial sector with the Chinese banking and financial sector. Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, I think what you're entering into is a fantastic new world. If you think of the opportunities that are in front of us, the change in economic geography, this is unprecedented.
Good evening, Your Excellencies and ladies and gentlemen. It's given me a great joy to join you here again for the second year with the HKS and this futuristic dialogues. And we should collectively agree that we are in the midst of a period where transformation is happening and happening very fast. With all these emerging technologies that happening around us, we need to be aware and mindful of all these things happening around us and how we can introduce it to our people, to our cities, to our government, to harness the beauty of these emerging technologies. Following Sheikh Rashid's footsteps, we did diversify over the years, making Dubai a global trade hub, a global financial hub, and now also it's the top destination for tourism, but also for emerging technologies. Today, Dubai play an integral role, especially when introducing these new technologies like blockchain, AI, big data, IoT, and so forth. And as Smart Dubai, we play a major three roles. We do a smart governing and planning for the whole city to take it to its next level. We introduce seamless experiences using and efficient technologies, and also play a global leadership and ecosystem enablement in introducing all these emerging technology. And today, alhamdulillah, Dubai been known as the capital of blockchain. We've introduced also artificial intelligence early 2017. When it's come to big data, we've introduced the digital backbone of the city, wherein all the open and shared data is already published in that platform, and also lately introducing the paperless strategy. The paperless strategy that Sheikh Hamdan challenged us, and he wants us to celebrate in 2021, the last transacted paper in Dubai government. When talking about how to position Dubai as a global leadership and to develop the ecosystem itself around these emerging technologies, alhamdulillah, here in Dubai, working with all our strategic partners, we managed to bring and attract all the thought leaders, whether it be around blockchain or AI or big data, to open their headquarters in the region here in Dubai. This is not the end of our story in Smart Dubai, but the future is us to create. Today here in Dubai and UAE, we dream big and we implement it today. We don't wait for the future. So our goal collectively here today to aim big and to partner with the Chinese government to also attract all these emerging technology companies to come and pilot their solutions here in Dubai. I'm so proud to be a part of this dialogue and hopefully to participate here again next year. Thank you.
Actually, when I'm standing in this future accelerator, it's like, in time machine. But this time, I want to, look back to the past. From 2,000 years ago, our ancestors, trekking across vast steppes and deserts, navigating through rough seas, created both inland and maritime routes linking east and west. If we dig into the history, the camel belling of the Arabian caravans echoed loud. The pivotal position of UAE and Middle East in BNR is preordained. Ladies and gentlemen, old friends but now new journey. The camel and the dragon meets at 21st century and under the involvement of BNR. UAE is a natural fit for this new journey as a good partner by virtue of its location as well as its infrastructure and economic assets as a hub of East and West and gateway to Middle East.
So we are very happy to have this opportunity to share with you our understanding of what the Belt and Road Initiative is about. It was unveiled by Chinese president in the year 2013. And it is one of the largest infrastructure projects in human history. President Xi said, here I quote, "The Belt and Road Initiative is a new initiative. It is perfectly natural for there to be different views in cooperation. As long as the parties embrace the principle of extensive consultation, joint contribution, and the shared benefits, we can surely enhance cooperation and resolve differences." During the past 2 years, we could see a lot of progress has been made under the BRI initiative. For the policy coordination, more than 100 countries and international organizations have participated.
When we talk about Silk Road, we are obviously talking about trade. And when we talk about trade, we cannot avoid talking about Dubai and the Dubai model in facilitating trade. Dubai today is the hub of trade and logistics. In terms of infrastructure, everybody is investing heavily. In terms of soft infrastructure, we're saying we are there, we're doing everything we want. We need the legal framework to allow and accept the exchange of data. What do policymakers need in general at a high level? Lower risk, higher control, and more efficiency. Thankfully and luckily, the technology today have solutions for all this. So artificial intelligence can lower your risk. Blockchain can give you more control, actually much more control than the 5,000-year invention of authentication, which is the rubber stamp. And of course, Internet of Things will give you more efficiency because you can automate even the physical interactions with the borders.
Corgos aims at filling two major gaps. The first one is an alternative to Central Asia, for the distribution to Central Asia. As you can see, the most logical way and the fastest one is to use Corgos as a gateway for this region. It was not done in the past, simply for a very simple reason. There was no real infrastructure at this particular area to serve those multinational companies that wants to better serve Central Asia. The second gap that Corgos wants to address is to improve the connectivity from China to Europe. Having a project like Corgos in the middle between China and Europe, it's introducing international standards.
BRI certainly is not a physical road or a physical economic belt. So that's why we don't call it one belt, one road. We call it belt and road. I think it's a kind of a network of partnership with the regional countries and also the regional organizations, as well as a network of projects in this part of the world. So that's belt and road. And also it's not a strategy, not a plan, it's not a unilateral from Chinese side. So it's an initiative. We try to have joint efforts to jointly build this belt and road. Many Chinese believe that Dubai specifically and UAE generally has some kind of successful model or pattern of economic development.
Without proper understanding the past, future becomes a bit dim. So, for example, if people say what China initiative for BNR has to do with United Arab Emirates, so this part of the world, which is today UAE, it has nearly 2,000 years of trade links with China. And we have archaeological record for this. So if it was possible for 2,000 years, it is possible today. The story of the archaeology starts with the Neolithic period here. After the Neolithic period, we have Hafid period. And again, in Hafid period, the whole landscape, the archaeological landscape, it started changing. Because this is the beginning or the start of civilization in Eastern Arabia, and which is today the United Arab Emirates. What happens after Hafid period is the beginning of what we call the civilization in this region. It starts from 2600 to 2000. What is important in this period is that the trade link it establishes during 3rd millennium BC. It's a big leap from Hafid period into this time, because suddenly everything starts changing. Now the reason for this change is that suddenly we see a trade links from Mesopotamia up to Indus civilization. And I think it will not be a big claim if I say today these both big civilizations, it reached to its perfection, climax, and this big name we hear today like Sumerian, Akkadians, Babylonians, Indus civilization, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro. It's only because of the region which is today United Arab Emirates or Oman. And the reason for this is copper. After the Wadi Suk period, we come to Iron Age. It's a very, very interesting period. Again, falaj system, domestication of camels, it started during this period of time. What is interesting is that we see during the pre-Islamic period from 3rd century AD to 3rd century BC, this is a route connecting international trade, and during this time we have very strong evidence that there was a trade link with China during this period of time, 2nd century AD or 3rd century AD. What happens after the pre-Islamic period? We have an amazing development in UAE, and especially in Ras Al Khaimah. We have a period, we call it Julfar period. If you want to imagine the trade town of Julfar, you can easily resemble it like what Dubai is today. From 10th century onward, for 1100 years, we find constantly Chinese pottery everywhere we dig in Ras Al Khaimah. We know that from 1st century BC, a trade, the Silk Route and the trade was started both inland, in the sea, and we have these amazing collections for 1100 years connecting UAE and especially Ras Al Khaimah with China in trades.
I have been actively involved in UAE-China cooperation, particularly on energy and innovation. The core is really energy cooperation. I call that the anchor of UAE-China cooperation. Energy cooperation definitely is important, but the key, how to make a sustainable energy cooperation between two countries, we need two engines. One is innovation. The other one is human capital.